What's up, guys? It's Lefty here, and in this video, I'm going to explain how we want to use or interpret our NFL power ratings. Members of the Betting Network Discord community now have access to my personal NFL power ratings, and those ratings will be updated every week. So I want to make sure everyone knows how to apply them when looking at different matchups. Now, in the Betting Network Discord, if we go and look, I believe it's now changed underneath the betting course and resources section. NFL power ratings, and then you can go up and you can there's a link there to click. Now, once you do click this link, it's going to be in view only form. And in order to make changes, you'll just simply have to make a copy, and you can do so going to file and then make a copy, and that way you can kind of edit or update how you want. But I'm going to be making a copy each week, and I'll have the updated version of my NFL power ratings posted. But on the screen here, you can see my NFL power ratings for week 14. And for anyone that's watched the weekly NFL live streams or weekly NFL breakdown videos with Rich and I, you've heard us talk about our numbers or what we have for a line on the game. And our numbers come from our power ratings. And remember, power ratings are different from power rankings. Power rankings are just ranking teams, 1 through 10 or 1 through 20 or whatever. But power ratings is assigning like a number value to each team that can be based on many different things. But and I did a video on how to create your own NFL power ratings. And in that video, I showed you two very easy, like baseline ways to create your own ratings. In the sports betting video course that's coming out soon, I'll have a part 2 of that video. But for now, I just want to make sure you guys understand how to use power ratings and how to kind of interpret them. You'll see here on the screen, I have a bunch of different columns. You can set up yours however you want. It doesn't really have to be the same as mine, but what I use these on the live stream, so it's pretty much got all the info I need kind of when discussing all the different matchups. Now, you'll see each team here has a different number value assigned to them. This is my raw power rating numbers, and I'm going to go over a couple examples of how we would use these numbers to determine a point spread for the game. And what's good about power ratings is it'll give you a number for any matchup. So let's just say, for example, Tampa Bay is playing New England. Now I have these two teams rated as the two best teams. I have Tampa Bay with a rating of 8.1, and I have New England with a 6.5 rating. So when you have two positive rated teams, you simply just take the difference. So in this case, I have Tampa Bay 1.6 points better than New England. And because this is a hypothetical matchup, it's 1.6 points better if these two teams played on a neutral field, meaning neither team is home or away. But if we look over at the HFA column, this stands for home field advantage, which I have assigned 3 points for both Tampa Bay and New England, actually. So in this hypothetical matchup, if it was to be played in Tampa Bay, we would just simply add 3 points to the 1.6, making Tampa Bay 4.6 point favorites over New England. If it was played in New England, we would award New England the 3 points. So adjusting the 1.6, the Bucks are favored. And now that would make New England now favorites of 1.4 if the game was played in New England. It's worth noting that home field advantage is kind of subjective. There's bettors that just apply 2 points for home field advantage no matter which team it is. And, the past few years, home field advantage has been worth less, especially last season where there wasn't max capacity of fans or anything. And it's important to realize, too, what goes into home field advantage. Why is there an advantage for the home team? And it's not just fans that impact home field advantage. It's travel or environment, playing conditions. And these are some of the things you want to keep in mind. A team traveling west, playing east, traveling west to east, playing an early start. That would kind of give the home team a little bit more of an advantage than normal. Or a team that plays their games outdoors on grass and they're hosting a team that plays their games in a dome. These factors can all be applied to, change home field advantage week to week. If you notice, I have both Tampa Bay and New England with 3 points of home field advantage, and that's considered the max for home field advantage. And, the reason is that they perform really good at home. Both both of these teams are, two of the best home field teams in football. The Bucks, if you look not even just at wins and losses between home and away, but their actual numbers and performance at home compared to on the road, you can see a major difference. And, for New England, especially at this time of the season, they benefit a lot from playing conditions, and that adds to their home field advantage. A team like the Chargers here, I give them 1.5 points of home field advantage, and which is very little. But a lot of their games, a lot of the fans are fans of the opposing team that they're playing more so than their own fans. So that's why they don't really have much of a home field advantage there. But my point really is home field advantage is something you want to adjust for by matchup. And when you calculate your number from the power ratings, the number you initially get is without home field advantage. So you got to apply that after, depending on which team is home. So if we look at Arizona Cardinals, LA Rams over here, they actually play a game tonight on Monday Night Football. Both teams have a positive power rating, so we just simply take the difference there, which would give us Arizona 0.8 points better than LA on a neutral field. The game is in Arizona, and I have Arizona get 2 points for home field advantage, so the number would have Arizona minus 2.8. And then what you want to do, the next step is you want to go and compare to see what the sports books have the game listed at. And if we look here, LA, Arizona, it's pretty much 3 across the board. They were 2.5 all day. I think a few players were just announced out for the Rams, but there's not too much of a difference here between what I have for a number on Arizona of 2.8 and then the current line. So based on my power ratings alone, there isn't much value. But a lot of times I'm using my power ratings as just a starting point, at least for me, and then I add in some market analysis or game theory. It's not like my power ratings are the end-all, be-all. There's some bettors I know that just live and die by their numbers, and that's fine too. There's no set rules. But for me, my power ratings are kind of just a starting point that points me in the right direction, and then I go from there and dig a little deeper. But let's go over a couple more examples of maybe some real matchups. If we look down here at the bottom, a Week 15 matchup, Carolina plays Buffalo. Let's go ahead and run the numbers on that game and see what we come up with. Now, remember, these power ratings on the screen here, they're Week 14. They haven't been adjusted yet for the games that were just recently played, but I'm going to use them just for the example on, how we calculate the numbers. So we got Carolina and Buffalo. I have Buffalo with a rating of 5.1. And if we look down here at the bottom, we got Carolina with a negative 3.6 rating. So when we compare a team with a positive rating and a negative rating, we simply just add the two together. So Buffalo 5.1, we add Carolina's rating of 3.6, which would give us an 8.7. And again, Buffalo, according to my Week 14 numbers, would be 8.7 points better than if they were playing on a neutral field. Buffalo will be at home next week, so we want to apply the home field advantage to that number for Buffalo, which Buffalo I give 2.5 points of home field advantage. So we add 8.7 to 2.5, which would give us an 11.2 number for Buffalo and Carolina. And 11.2, again, remember this is going off the Week 14 numbers. They should be similar once I do adjust. It's not like there's a drastic difference week to week when adjusting for the power ratings. But this example here shows Buffalo 11.2. So let's head over to the odds screen and see what we have for Buffalo. And it looks like they're pretty much 10.5 point favorites in this game. So the difference is within a single point. So nothing crazy here. But let's do another example. And for this one, let's go with another Week 15 matchup. How about Washington and Philly? If we go back to our power ratings, have Philly with a negative 0.5 power rating, and I have Washington with a negative 1.5. So we compare the two numbers. That would give Philly a 1 point advantage over Washington. That's if they played on a neutral field. but in upcoming Week 15 game, it is in Philly, so we want to apply the home field advantage for Philly, which, I give Philly 2 points, so that's going to make Philly a field goal favorite over Washington based on my Week 14 numbers. So now let's go back and look to see what the odds makers have here, and they currently have Philly listed as 5-point favorites. Which I guess would, it's 2 points off of my number, so it would kind of make me want to start looking into Washington more because, if I make this game or make Washington +3 and I can get +5, that's a pretty good starting point, and I want to see if I could then go check off market analysis or game theory and see what I come up with. But again, I'm not going to go do that until I have my updated Week 15 numbers. But that's really, kind of how you use the power ratings or do the calculation of comparing the two. You'll want to, kind of adjust based on, some injuries and stuff like that, and which I'll do on my updated posts each week for my weekly, my Week 15 power ratings. And you'll also have access to, my total rankings too within that download, which, kind of I rank offense, defense, and special teams. And for anyone that's watched the live streams of the NFL breakdowns, you've seen my total rankings for offense, defense, and special teams here. And again, they'll be updated weekly. I have yards per point, which I use a lot. And actually, the yards per point metric is the one I use in the how to create your own video, how to create your own power ratings video, which I did. And it shows you actually how to create your own power ratings. And the yards per point metric is a good one because it strongly correlates to a team's success. It's definitely a good starting point. I explain more about that in the video, so make sure to go check that one out. Also have my defensive ratings, and those are based on yards per attempt or yards allowed per attempt, not to be confused with yards per point. But yeah, it's basically yards per play for both run, pass, or both defense and offense. So there's a lot of helpful stuff that goes into the Google Sheet that you can now download and use weekly. And again, I'll be updating them week to week, probably on every Wednesday after the official injury report comes out or is announced. But that's when I usually start finalizing some of my numbers, so look out for that. And if anything wasn't clear, if you have any questions, just hit me up in the Discord. That's one of the biggest benefits of this is, you have a question, just ask me. I'll be happy to answer because if you have a question, it's a good chance someone else does too. So always, when in doubt, just ask. But that is going to do it for this one. Hope it was helpful. And until next time, good luck with all your bets.